Welcome to the Chanel Ashby Podcast, part of the EIP Network. Excellence in Porn. Talent on loan from my cock. We will be bringing you, over the next weeks, months, and years, the best in erotic review of internet written porn. Little tidbits that we find interesting. In addition, we will freely and liberally use the 7 words you cannot use on television or radio. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits.
Are you sure tits is something you can't use? Are you sure?
On late night cable, maybe. But during regular broadcast hours, not so much.
Good to know.
Tits. It's fun to say, isn't it?
It is.
It really is.
Kind of reminds me of grade school.
This is Chanel. Hi, Chanel.
Hi, Chris. You look dapper today.
Thank you. How are you today? Besides all wet.
Oh, very excited. I love talking about smut. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, my favorite noise.
It's so good.
Right? It is.
You're so dirty.
I am.
Right.
That's why I'd like to share something with you, Chris, that was particularly dirty that I found.
What did you find? I love the internet.
Very hot story. And you know what? I even like this author's name, Dick Powers.
Right, because his dick is probably powerful.
Exactly. He's got to be a hunk of a man. His name is Dick Powers.
Right.
And I happened to peruse his story called One Prison Laundry, Two Sexy Studs.
It should be noted that actually having sex in a prison laundry is really something that is not done a lot.
Right?
It's usually in cells and or showers.
Exactly. So I like the fact that we've changed it up to the laundry.
Kudos to him for finding a new place to have sex in a prison.
Right? And, you know, that way the sheets get all sticky.
Right.
You know, I did happen to read One Prison Laundry, Two Sexy Studs. Very hot. There are a few grammatical errors, two and two, pry and prize, that kind of thing. But who cares?
Autocorrect.
Exactly.
Autocorrect.
Right, exactly. It's a super short story, and it's 2 guys getting it on. Very direct. Lots of dick sucking. And a special little treat. One gets fucked in the ass and then cleans the dick off after.
Nice.
I thought
Dick
so.
to mouth. Ass to mouth.
Ass to mouth, exactly. It's definitely not gay for you. It's we're fucking gay and we're fucking in the laundry.
Sweet.
Right? Dick Powers is on Amazon. He's on Smashwords. He's everywhere that you can find smut. And it looks like all of his stories are man-on-man hot loving.
So if you like man on man and who doesn't,
Right?
then you want to find Dick Powers online. And
Exactly.
Read his stuff.
All of his covers are very self-explanatory. It's a half-naked man.
Pretty self-explanatory.
Right.
Right.
Speaking of self-explanatory, the next book that I was reading this week is called Promiscuous You by Sierra Hoffman. Pretty, you know, the title tells you everything you need to know. It's college girls.
It should be noted that you spend most of your time sitting around in lingerie, either writing porn and smut or reading porn and smut.
Exactly. It's a very difficult job, Chris.
Right. Someone's got to do it.
I know. You know, first of all, Promiscuous You. It comes in multiple episodes. Not too crazy about it. I'm going to say boner down.
Boner sad.
Sad erectile dysfunction. Flaccid boner.
No chance of a Viagra comeback?
I would say no. Take a pass. Because essentially, first of all, condoms. First mention of birth control. This is porn world. We don't care.
We barely take time to put condoms on in the real world.
Right, exactly. So, yeah.
6 billion people.
Boner down, condoms. And the phrase, burning hot boner.
Right.
I'm not sure if I need a cream for that. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to fuck a guy who has a burning hot boner.
Better put a salve on it.
Yeah. And it's 2 college-age girls, and one's a slut, and one's a virgin, and of course the slut is fucking random guys. She does fuck the washing machine repairman while sitting on the washing machine.
That's kind of ironic, I suppose.
I guess. So, I think that the episode 1 is leading up to 2 dudes, 1 chick, devil's threesome. It could possibly be spicier in episode 2, but let's face it, there's too many other choices out there to give this one a second chance. So I'm going to say take a pass. Although, Chris P., I know you're very creative. What do you think we could do to make promiscuous you much hotter?
Right. So instead of having 2 girls and 1 dude on a washing machine, how about 8 girls, 12 dudes, and a swimming pool full of cum.
Oh, so just full on orgy?
Right. But not like the lemon party orgy. That's 3 old dudes in a retirement home.
Ooh, is this something new that you learned about this week, Chris?
Right. If you look on the internet, I found out there's a lot of porn on the internet.
You're right, there is.
Right. Google is so great. But lemon party is when 3 old dudes get it on together. So feel free to look it up. It's a good time. If you like
old wrinkly dick.
If you like grandpa and grandpa.
Okay. Well, just to get back to the story of Promiscuous You as it was, if you're interested in slutty co-eds with a predictable plot, look for Sierra Hoffman on Amazon, Smashwords.
Or if you're a Maytag repairman and you want something that's relevant to your job path, right? Then perhaps Promiscuous You could also be for you.
Perhaps Maytag will use that as part of their new employee hiring training video.
Right.
Warning, this could happen to you. Be careful.
Perhaps they'd have more employees looking for that work if they did that.
Exactly. Now, Chris P., have you ever had this situation? A repairman comes to the house and you're out of money and you don't have a checkbook.
Happens all the time.
Right? Don't you hate when that happens? Or do you love it?
A little.
Okay.
I feel so dirty and demeaned afterwards.
Right.
But then I have all the movie channels.
Exactly. It's a win-win. So Sophie Sin has a book out there called Bound and Used in Public.
Where else are you going to be bound and used?
Right. I happen to give it 4 boners and some pre-cum.
Leaky pre-cum?
Leaky, drippy, salty, delicious pre-cum. Exactly. Sophie Sin is all over Amazon as well as Smashwords, and she's also the author of Dirty, Kinky Toilet Sex. That kind of sounds like it might be right up your alley, Chris.
Well, I do spend a lot of time around toilets, but usually at truck stops.
Right. Well, if you go to Amazon, you can find Dirty, Kinky Toilet Sex by Sophie Sin. But today, the one I read was Bound and Used in Public. Was very hot. I do want to let readers know that it includes this line. Okay, let me give you the backstory. Black repairman, white suburban wife, always wanted to fuck a black guy. And, conveniently enough, she just found out that her husband cheated on her with the maid. Super horny, black guy decides to tie her up with electrical wire out on the patio and actually says, "Do you think I believe you, Mrs. White and Horny? I'm going to take my payment in ass right now."
Nice.
Exactly. So, of course, she gets fucked. It's her big fantasy to get fucked by a big black man. It's awesome. Black man leaves.
Weren't you just fucked by a big black man yesterday?
And this morning. That's why we had to
Lord.
start a little late, Crispy.
We're going to start, right?
Uh-huh.
We started, we're finishing.
I'm a little sore.
And leaking.
Exactly.
Right.
The only way to be. So she gets fucked by this big black guy. She's still tied up, though. He doesn't untie her. And any one of the neighbors could see what a nasty whore she is at any moment in time. And the husband walks in.
Surprise, surprise.
Right, exactly. So if she wants to save her marriage, she's going to have to do something just despicable.
Hopefully, Sophie can make that happen for the readers.
Right. Aren't you curious about what she has to do, Crispy?
I am. I'll be reading that tonight.
Right. Bound and used in public.
Unless, of course, I'm bound and used in public.
And they don't usually let you read then, do they?
It's not really that kind of environment.
Not very literary.
No, that doesn't seem to be a point of focus.
Can't really hold a book. Or even a Kindle. Where you're like,
Thank God, Kindle came out with the backlit edition now.
right? Perfect for reading dirty, kinky toilet sex. Okay. So now, I want to tell you about something that sucked.
Boner down.
Boner down. Tiny, flaccid, icky, little, tiny boner. Bobby's Mom. It's by Nickel Man. I'm not sure, if there needs to be any other Nickel Man.
Do you think that there's a correlation between how sucky an author's name is and how good their writing is? Dick Powers, good. Sophie Sin, good.
Right.
Chanel Ashby, great.
Exactly.
Nickel Man, not so much.
Right. I hear you.
Not even a real coin, for God's sake. It's a nickel. What can you do with a nickel?
Right? You can't even use that at the adult bookstore anymore.
Right, good old days.
It's no good for anything.
Smell like cum and quarters mixing in a bin. Glory holes.
And this particular story, Bobby's Mom,
But I digress.
brings up something that comes up quite often in porn and smut, where an author uses an acronym or some other term that they assume the reader knows. However, you should never assume that your reader is as kinky or whatever as you are. And in this case, this author used Bob multiple times. Bob. Well, I'm wondering who the fuck is Bob and why is he getting all the action? No, it's an acronym for battery operated friend. So, it's her dildo.
That's lazy writing.
Which, I don't even like calling a dildo call it what it is. Jesus Christ, we're all adults.
Right? It's a giant cock that's going to shove up inside you and make you feel happy.
Yeah, so all the references to Bob, it makes you lose interest. Bobby's the main character. His friend dies. His friend's mom is still around. She's horny, blah, blah. And of course, when they fuck, he's a teenage boy, and he can make Bobby's mom squirt the first time they fuck.
You know what would make this story better?
What?
If the dead person came back and ghost fucked her.
Right? Or his friend fucked him in the ass as a dead person while he was fucking the dead dude's mom.
Right.
Ghost dick.
Any kind of ghost dick is good dick.
Right. There's no consequences.
Paranormal dick. No pregnancy issues.
Right. No STDs.
A lot more ghost cum.
Right. Just like ectoplasm.
Because they hydrate.
We learned that on Ghostbusters.
Right.
Just gets all
Who
over.
you gonna call? cumbusters.
Exactly. So, yeah, Bobby's mom, Nickel Man. Can't find Nickel Man on Amazon. This person is on Smashwords. It looks like they do a lot of taboo stories, which is probably why they're not on Amazon, because it's borderline incest. And if you haven't learned this already, you can't really have any good incest anymore.
Right, so
It's all questionable. So avoid Bobby's mom. It's not worth your time. Boner down, Crispy.
very sad. A lot of boner down stories.
I know, right? Well, you gotta sift through a lot. Oh, by the way, speaking of boner up, did you want to tell me about something that you said you learned this week?
I did.
I thought you were pretty excited about it. I didn't want to forget.
I am starting my tour of America.
Tour of America?
Right, in porn.
Whoa.
So every week until we've covered all 50 states and, of course, our territories. Hello, Puerto Rico. We will be looking for a new state and or city-themed sexual phrase.
Oh.
This week's is the Alabama Hot Pocket.
Pray tell, what is an Alabama Hot Pocket?
So you've got your favorite lady down underneath you, right?
Okay.
Perhaps you just got back from lunch or dinner, a nice burrito, maybe a nice fish taco, something tasty.
Okay.
You separate her vagina lips.
Okay.
And then while she's laying there with her vagina lips separated, she should really help, because willing participants are always...
Right?
Right.
It helps.
It
Makes you
does.
feel more like it's sexy when the other party's willing.
Right, sexy time is a lot more fun when both parties are into it.
I agree.
But then, with her vagina lips separated, you want to just shat yourself right into her vagina. That's right, nice pussy full of shit. And then fuck her.
What I want to clarify. So, are you basically using your own shit for
Right.
lube?
Right, do you want me to show you?
Yeah, I'm kind of good right now, but maybe later.
Okay.
Keep it in mind.
Okay, because I should go get something to eat then.
Right. I recommend some Mexican food from the truck outside.
Right. From our undisclosed dungeon location.
Exactly. I mean, you'd have to leave the dungeon for a taco.
Right, it's worth it. Those are good tacos.
Yeah.
But okay, so based on the Alabama Hot Pocket being our theme of the week. do you
Woohoo!
have-
Shout out to Alabama.
Right, good job, Alabama. Do you have something that you're going to put with to bring it all together, right?
Well, I want readers to learn all about the Alabama Hot Pocket as well. So I did happen to find a couple of hot stories that would go with your Alabama Hot Pocket theme for the week. Look for a book on Amazon called Scat Tales. It's 4 stories for the price of 1. Author is Craig Christopher. Scat Tales. It's all 4 stories about shit, poop, scat, if you want to.
What kind of stories?
Ooh, hot ones. The first one's called Trying New Things. And apparently 2 lovers decide to use anal beads and something
Goes awry.
backfires. Right? There's another story called No Need to Wipe. Have you ever just decided, I'm taking a shit, but I'm just going to get up and walk around. I'm not even going to wipe my ass.
I'm distracted pretty easily, so that happens on occasion.
Right? Sometimes you want to do something before you forget. So this woman happens to take a shit, doesn't wipe, and somehow it all winds up in the shower. She's got some poop, interesting tidbits going on there. Drunk girlfriend shits herself.
Oh.
That's going to be a doozy.
That happens a lot.
Right? Drunk, shitting yourself, you go to bed, you think it's a fart. You can't ever trust a drunk fart.
Well, we go out a lot, and we have a tendency to over imbibe. We can't be held responsible for miscarriages of the poop shoot.
Right? Exactly. And besides, once you've been fucked up there, enough times, it's not a tight seal anymore.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Got to do your kegels. Last story in this book is shitting down in public. So it's like outdoor woods shitting.
Did you know that the stories involving scat are actually, they have a term for that?
Ooh, tell me, Crispy.
Coprophilia.
Sure, I'll feel ya.
Right. We're all about education here on the Chanel Ashby Network.
Right, because of course poop, no matter how disgusting it might be, it's still a thing. Everybody's got a...
So tomorrow at work, go ahead and just tell, hey, you're a coprophiliac, aren't you?
And in the meantime, read Scat Tales by Craig Christopher. And, since we're all about learning, there are other kinds of poop tales. I'd look for Alyssa Mitchell, Soiling Myself. A Stinky Mess.
99 cents, that's a deal.
That's a lot of shit for such a small price.
Right. Good times.
If you're into girl-on-girl action, on Smashwords, there's a very interesting looking story called Wild Scat Lesbians. A freaky, nasty dyke finds a kindred spirit with her sexy, scatty dorm mate. So I would assume there'd be a lot of pussy licking and probably some shit eating as well. You're going to have to find that out. But 99 cents, Wild Scat Lesbians. Look for it on Smashwords.
Shit and lesbians, that's a good time.
Right, exactly. I mean, at least you know that they're bonding.
Right.
It's not all about sex at that point.
No, I read a book this week.
What did you read, Crispy?
I need to give a disclaimer first.
Oh.
And I'll be giving a disclaimer every week because, sadly, my genre that I've been assigned by you, Chanel, is the romance genre.
Right.
And right now what we're finding is on Amazon, some of the best porn is being quantified as romance. So in an effort to go through and save you, the listener, time and money, I'm doing it for you.
What a humanitarian.
I'm a giver. Right.
Exactly.
I do. So, but in the interest, you should know that my reviews may not be very positive. So, understand that every week I will be reviewing a romance story. It's the closest thing to weight loss that I can get. Reading these stories is akin to laying in my own diarrhea, which can be a fun thing if that's what you like, but this not so much. And then being told that I have a flesh-eating bacteria and Ebola. That may be less painful than this last story that I read. But, once again, trying to save you money. So, the story by Chloe Parks, Seduced Book 1, as if we're ever going to look at Book 2. I refer to it as Chloe Farts on Paper. This 50 Shades Grey wannabe is so predictable that if I literally shat on a piece of paper, it would be more interesting. This story is about an upper middle class naive girl forced to move back home until she meets, big surprise, a big dick hunky dude with such riveting writings as "You smell good, but you'll smell even better when I come inside your pussy."
Oh, can I interject here, Chris?
Yes.
Who smells better when there's cum inside their pussy?
Everyone.
Just checking. Continue.
I really was unaware that I would be reviewing the great American novel. Her description of a vagina, quote unquote, is so pink and perfect and very wet. Reminds me of a melted strawberry shake. Of course, the fact that the authors created a scenario that middle-aged women that hate their husbands would hope could happen to them is so realistic. I imagine that all her other writings are as pedantic and condescending to women as this one. This is a major boner down, Chanel. However, if you're a sexually frustrated menopausal woman, eating chocolate on the couch in between reality shows and you're down a battery for your vibrator, I suppose it might get you to where you need to be long enough that you don't vomit. Otherwise, move on to something better. This story could be saved, however, if 15 black ninjas with huge cocks jumped into the nightclub, killing everybody, then fucking Serena, who is the lead character, in every hole possible, while the other 12 skull fucked the corpses. Just my opinion.
Wow, Chris P., that was a very thorough review. I really appreciate that. I did want to mention that Chloe Parks is available on Amazon. She has written quite a few other books. Looks like she's mostly in the romance genre, though. And how do you feel about romance again, Chris P.?
Right, I'm going to go vomit.
Okay. Well.
Might save that, though. You never know, he might need it.
If you can hold your vomit, I do have something that's particularly hot, short, and dirty to talk about. The power receiver.
Right, we were going to save this for football season, but we wanted to get a jump on it.
Right, literally.
Right.
The author's name is Walker Long. So again, another one of those hot.
Good name.
Right, good name, good game. Okay, so the power receiver. It is a cliche setup, but, you know, there's a reason why things are cliches. Because it totally worked. So, straight guy comes over to a gay guy's house to buy his receiver from his stereo. Gay guy tells him it's $50. But if he gives the gay guy a hand job, it could be free.
Big surprise. Who saw that coming?
Right. Nobody saw that coming.
Alert.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Oops. So he's giving the gay guy a handy, but you know, he's straight, so he's never really done a handy before. So in order to move things along, he's forced to lube up a little bit. And then he finds out that he likes it.
Of course he does.
Right. Me likey. I thought it was a 4.8 boners up. Very hot.
Yet another reason to get on Craigslist as often and as quickly as possible.
Right? I think you should go on Craigslist and see if you can find a new dad.
I tried that. It didn't work out so well.
Okay. Well, maybe you can find a power receiver. I do want to recommend that Walker Long has another title out called Invasion of the Snatch Snatchers.
Which you just like for the name.
Right.
And who doesn't want to invade Snatch as much as possible?
I totally agree. So look for that on Amazon, Smashwords, wherever else you buy your smut. And now, there's a couple of bad porn reviews here, Chris. But, you know, this is what we do for our audience.
Well, we did read I Want My Son by Ben Highlander. First off, we're pretty sure Ben Highlander is an English author just because he uses the word bum over and over again, which is fine, except talk American.
Right, we are doing the American tribute.
Right. Now, he makes a lot of bad decisions in writing the story, one of which is he keeps going back and forth between Pierre the dad and the son, which is very, very disappointing because when I'm trying to jack off, I do not want to have to worry about context.
Right? Pick a point of view and then stick with it throughout. Cause
you said stick, like sticky.
Stick it.
Right.
Stick it hard. Stick it until you're done. Do it.
Got a little chub right now, gotta admit.
Well, in order to fix that chub, just talk about I Want My Son by Ben Highlander.
Right. Because he wants to ejaculate his daddy juice into my bum.
Is that a quote?
It is a quote. Definitely worth a laugh. Definitely not a boner. Who wants to, even in your deepest thoughts, who wants to ejaculate
You know, it's the
Daddy
word.
juice.
It's the word ejaculate.
Right.
Yeah, it's a bad. It's not a porn word. It's a biology
Shoot,
class.
Squirt, cum,
Jizz.
all better words.
Explode.
So stop showing off your fancy education there, Mr. British dude.
Exactly, because in this country we like American porn, right, Chris?
But what's even worse is there wasn't actually even very much sex in it.
Really?
It was right. It was a fake massage cliche and like a washing of the car.
Oh, so you're saying I Want My Son is a tiny, insignificant, flaccid boner down?
Right. No reason to masturbate to this. Bad, bad, bad.
Not good. Well, I'll tell you about something that I happened to read that was a huge, throbbing boner up.
Yes.
Right, because I know you want to know about that. It's called 2 Steps in the Wrong Direction. I happen to read volume 3, and I can't wait to read the other volumes.
Should be noted that you should read volumes 1 and 2 just to follow the storyline and create continuity.
Right, you might not get the crossover episode then.
Right. Though
Exactly.
I do like the author's name.
Tiberius Pulcher.
Right. You just picture a big hulking dude in like a toga.
Right, I was going to say a gladiator.
Right. That
Like
would
it
work
got
too.
Russell Crowe, and he's
Right.
like, "Fuck you guys, I'm
He's all
killing people and
pissed
fucking
off
chicks."
Right.
Ooh,
I'm gonna
right.
skull fuck somebody who's dead.
Can you skull fuck somebody any other way?
You don't have to worry about consent then. They're dead.
True, right? Exactly. Okay, so I read 2 Steps in the Wrong Direction. Something that you need to know, Crispy, just in case you ever get a foreign exchange student and she calls you daddy, it's totally fine to fuck her.
So it's on like Donkey Kong.
It is totally on. There's no rules when it comes to foreign exchange students or adopted people.
Undocumented ones are even better.
Right? If they're not legal, it's carte blanche.
It's like they're not even here. You can do whatever you want.
It's like a space-time continuum thing.
Right?
Exactly. No paperwork, no muss, no fuss. So, stepdad has a foreign exchange student in the house. So, the beginning of the story, I really liked too, because he does a whole Austin Powers, like, me fuck you, no, you fuck me, that kind of,
When they're a foreign exchange student, they probably don't know the American language.
Right, exactly. So he does that whole, like, and he does it in a funny way. He doesn't take it too far, but I do think that sometimes in smut, people forget that, sex is funny. So anyway, little Asian, hot, foreign exchange student, dad starts eating her out because she asked for it. And
Of
who
course.
could say no to that?
Right?
Exactly. Then the stepdaughter walks in and she starts eating the girl's asshole while stepdad is eating her pussy.
It's like you're describing my last Saturday night.
Right? It's like a family reunion.
Right?
Exactly. And then there's a full-on orgy after the ass and pussy licking, and mom gets in on the orgy. And
Mom doesn't want to be left out.
Right, she likes young cock.
Right? Who doesn't?
Exactly. I mean, she has to fuck her husband, and he's got a pretty decent cock, but she likes the young
But
cock.
young cock is
Right.
better than decent old cock.
Exactly. So, young cock, young Asian pussy, keeping it in the family. Pretty hot. I'm giving it total 2 boner. Well, no, I'm giving it like 5 boners.
That's a good review. It should also be noted that for people looking for a new career path, or anyone holding a master's or doctorate degree in counseling and or some kind of social medicine type thing, that Tiberius also has another novel out that I think could be used. Right?
Oh, right. I think everybody should have to read this, but definitely people that are going into the social sciences should read A Pervert's Guide to Counseling Unwed Mothers. Now, that's another multiple volume story, so I'm going to suggest starting with volume 1 so you really get the full focus.
I agree.
Right.
Definitely. So, I think it should be noted for any listeners that you write smut, don't you?
Yes.
And have for 5+ years.
I do, Chris P.
So, now, you started your career writing for publishers.
Yes, that's correct.
And now you write under your own name, Chanel Ashby, which can be found everywhere.
True. Chanel Ashby books can be found on Amazon and Smashwords, Barnes & Noble, Apple iBooks, Google Play. I don't know where else. Look for it.
Everywhere.
Right.
But I want to talk briefly about one of your stories that I was very excited about. That, thanks to the dark demons at Disney, we were forced to change.
Oh, are we talking about the Wookiee Chronicles?
We really wanted to talk about a story I was really excited about that you wrote, but thanks to the dark demons at Disney, we were forced to make a change, right?
Oh, right, because Disney now owns an entire race of people. Because they're slave masters, and apparently before Disney, it was George Lucas who was in charge of whether or not Wookiees could get laid.
Right, that's the sound of a sad Wookiee because he can't get laid.
Exactly.
Disney said no more poontangs for you, Wookiee. You don't get it.
Exactly, and I always was a fan of Star Wars and Chewbacca in particular, so I had written the Wookiee Chronicles.
Right.
Captured by the Wookiees, enslaved by the Wookiees, ravished by the Wookiees.
Thanks to a possibility of a trademark infringement, it is now being published as Sasquatch porn.
Right. So unfortunately, it's a little bit of a boner down because it's Sasquatch. But Wookiees are our Sasquatch cousins in space.
Right. And if you buy the book and then go to Sasquatch and right-click and change every Sasquatch reference to Wookiee, then you've got the actual original version.
Exactly. Because that's all I did.
Right. Yes.
So, Sasquatch Chronicles is very hot. There's a lot of gangbang action going on, Chris P. The princess, reminiscent of maybe a young Princess Leia, very sexually naive and inexperienced. She gets sold, essentially, by her boyfriend to the Wookiees. Or Sasquatch.
Keeping in mind that all characters are fictional and have no reference to any trademark issues with the Disney Corporation.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
She gets sold. Wookiees have her. Sasquatch.
Right.
Sasquatch. Right.
Always Sasquatch is never Wookiees.
Right. Have her
trademarked.
Have her on a spaceship, and then
Got Mickey Mouse showing up with a cease and desist.
Right.
We don't want that.
No. Fuck Mickey.
You'd like to. You know you want to.
Mice creep me out, actually.
Bet she's got a big boner, though.
A big black mouse.
It's right. Well, the best cocks are black, right?
Exactly. So anyway, starts with the gangbang, ends with a bigger gangbang. There's girl on girl Sasquatch action. She blows an actual dude, but there's also a lot of multiple Sasquatch activities going on.
Do you right click and replace?
Right. 2 in the hands, 1 in the mouth, 1 in the pussy.
With a word that sounds like sookie, but might start with W.
And then 1 in the ass. The Sasquatch decide that they're going to get her pregnant because she's fertile and ready to go.
That's pretty important.
Right? And she needs to, help out the Sasquatch race.
Right.
Which apparently are, forced to live in outer space now because they're not.
Or Orlando, Florida, which is about the same.
They're like endangered.
Right.
So, in order to help the Sasquatch, she's going to have one of their little Sasquatch babies before they dump her off at the brothel planet.
To be used up.
Right? So, she's going to be pregnant and fucked in every hole. That's my idea
Poor Sasquatch.
of going to the dark side.
Also a main theme of most of your other writings.
True. However, Sasquatch, I don't know if you know this, Crispy, have enormous dicks.
Do Sasquatches manscape?
No. Sasquatches, no manscaping. It's a jungle down there.
Full bush.
Oh, full bush. Yeah.
It's a good thing they got a huge cock then.
Right?
You got to get past the bush.
Exactly. So, you need like 2 solid feet of dick in order to get past all that. And they're not circumcised. So, a lot of foreskin and a lot of hair. You really have to be committed when you get down with especially multiple Sasquatch.
Or captured.
Right.
And then it doesn't really matter how committed you are. You're
True.
in it to win it then.
I'm not sure if. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're Sasquatch for the stay at that point.
Nice. Very nice.
Well, did you read anything else this week, Crispy?
No, that's all I read. I was so busy masturbating all week.
Right.
Barely. A lot of chafing.
Oh, I agree. You got to stop before it burns.
Right.
But next week, I know we want to talk about golden showers.
Next week's theme will be golden showers because June is golden shower month.
Is it?
It is.
Oh, did they put that on the calendar yet?
It's on our calendar.
Great. That's the
all
only one that
matters.
counts.
And of course, we'll be reviewing more books.
Exactly. And you'll have another American
State and city themed.
Right?
Sex act.
Shout out to Alabama. Woohoo! Alabama Hot Pocket.
Right. Make sure you try that at home.
Right. Give your cousin a rest. Do a Hot Pocket.
Exactly. And then we also invite listener questions. So any listener that would like to submit questions, please email the questions to chrisploves69@gmail.com.
For some people, would you mind spelling that, Chris?
CHRISPLOVES 69. I do love 69. I really do. At gmail.com. And then, of course, all of Chanel's works can be found on Smashwords, iBooks, Amazon, of course, and a myriad of other places. And what's your blog address?
Go to chanelashby.com for all the latest shenanigans, pictures, and this podcast.
And feel free to go to Facebook and like Chanel on Facebook.
Or tweet me your nonsense.
Right. She's also on Twitter and Tweeter. I said Tweeter. That's good. Or Instagram.
Nope, not on Instagram, Crispy.
Tumblr.
I am on Tumblr.
That's right. Instagram.
Chanel writes Smut.
See, you
on
do.
Tumblr.
You really do. Every day. Yeah, and just a passing note. I read a couple weeks ago some of the top authors, Stephen King, Lee Childs, Patterson. Most of those writers only write like 1,800 to 2,000 words a day. Patterson doesn't even write anymore. He's just got a bunch of robots that do it for him. But you write 8,000 to 10,000 words a day, don't you, of smut?
Correct. You know why? Because I'm a real American.
Right.
Writing porn for real Americans.
Right. I bet you Lee Childs or Stephen King would like to write porn. But they can't. They've been boxed into this whole bestseller thing. Jeez.
Well, Crispy, then we need to sign off. tell our listeners goodbye and tell them to come back. What day next week?
We post every Sunday night.
Right? To get your week started out smutty.
Right.
The way it should be. The way it should be. Tune in next time to Chanel Talk Smut.
Bye, Chanel.
Bye, Crispy.